Um, so there's been a lot of things on my mind lately. And by the way, my air conditioner is running in the background. So we'll see how it affects the audio. Um, I thought about turning it off, but I was like, you know what? Sometimes I just don't want to. But yeah, I have been emailing myself always when I have an idea in my head, and I'm looking because my email's a mess. So I'm gonna let you know what my next two audios are gonna be. It's, are you eating a hamburger without buns? Do you need to borrow some? Because I have. Are you eating? Yeah. Do you need to borrow some? Because I have two. Hopefully you understand that. On this one, I forgot where I got this idea from. I think it's because I told my parents that they've been using, my parents don't have a balcony, so they've been using my balcony to put their plants. So I told my parents that the two flowers that they bought were dying, and for some reason that inspired this, okay? My flower bud needs watering. So yeah, that's my next two audios. But this one has been a long-awaited audio. I've been very happy these days also. I feel very motivated. Like, this is something I'm going to repeat myself a lot because I just have this habit of like starting from the beginning. Like, I feel like, when you ever watch a show and you're like, oh, what's happening? I don't understand. And the recaps play a huge role. I am the type to do the recaps. But yeah, if you guys didn't know, I started ASMR role-playing audios because I was doing music actually, and I just lost my motivation. Like, it was, I remember I was recording, it was not working. I felt like I just had to get it done. And then I stumbled upon ASMR role-playing, and I was like, I want to try, I want to give it a go. And I end up liking it a lot. Like, I like it right now. A lot. And then it ventured into who knows what, right? It's been, like, me doing what I want to do. It's been a lot of work for me. In the sense that you might be like, oh, don't overwhelm yourself. Take breaks. I'm not overwhelming myself. I just can't deal with my mind in the sense that I always feel the need to be productive. Like, for me to just lie on the couch, even for me to play Persona 3, it feels unproductive. And that's something I've been trying to, get used to, of letting go, and I haven't reached it. But I have a lot of musical ideas in my head. And, yeah, I think also the fact that I know that I'm going to be leaving my job has also made me really happy. This job that I'm in has been my only job. So it's my first and my only job ever. Like, I don't know what it's like to work somewhere else and, like, a different career. Like, it's funny because people ask me, oh, what was your first job? And I'm like, this is my first job. So, to kind of venture into a different life is going to be interesting. And, like, part of me says, like, you're going to hate the new jobs you're going to be doing, and you're going to realize that, even though your current job has issues, it's the job for you. But we'll see. We'll let the future dictate my life. I was even talking to my mom about, like, being a florist or something. Whatever, I don't know. I've been riding the waves, riding the tide. I don't know what the expression is. But I just don't want to plan. That's something I used to do a lot in the past. I plan, and nothing ever goes my way. And then, like, when you're planning and you feel like, oh, I only have this amount of time, you take whatever you can take. And I'm not doing that anymore. I'm just going to let time flow and just figure out, what are my options, but not pressure myself. Like, for example, I was supposed to update my resume on June 1st. Did I? No, I didn't. Again, like, I'm not in a rush. I'm not trying to overwhelm myself. Anyways, let's get to the point of this audio. I'm 5 minutes in, and I haven't reached the point. So, there is a very, I guess, sensitive topic to talk about, which is body. Body, yaddy, yaddy, yaddy. Yeah. I don't even know where to start. Okay, let's start with somebody I know online with no names. There is this person online. Is she like famous like Beyonce? No. But she does have a following, and her following is pretty loyal, so they will kind of imitate her, and that's kind of something you want to watch out for. When you start imitating people, it's almost like you can say, oh, you admire them, but at the same time, sometimes imitation can feel like, what's the word? Like you're following, like you're just accepting. It's almost like religion, you know, when you accept a religion, it's like, are you going to be completely conservative and follow the books or the teachings directly, or are you going to be, you know, a little bit liberal? And this is like also like Democratic and Republican, right? Same idea. But her fans are super loyal and they follow her exactly, which is, it feels like a cult. So she's all about body positivity. And of course, she's on the heavier side, so I would probably say she's maybe like 160 pounds, 170 pounds, but she's not tall. And I think that's where things get confusing, right? Because you might say, oh, what do you mean heavier side, 160? Again, if we're talking about male, it's probably a healthy weight. And if we're talking about a really tall female, it's probably a healthy weight. So, but she's, I believe, 5'1" or 5'2", and 160. And I believe the BMI is like 145 or 140. I could be completely wrong. Somewhere around that. So, with a lack of words and trying not to be offensive, she's on the overweight side. To be nice, I'm going to stumble upon my words because I don't want to really offend anybody. And she kind of says, you know, she's like, oh, tummy, like being like overweight is nothing wrong. Again, like, you know, being body positive. And of course, you know, this is when she brought this issue up, this is where kind of her following kind of split, meaning like the ones who are in like the sense of completely following her accepted what she said, and then the other half was like, no, it's not healthy, you need to lose weight, yada yada yada, body 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 yada yada, whatever. So this is where things got weird. Her followers, who are like completely loyal, just started gaining weight. Like the ones who were super close to her, like were gaining weight on purpose. And the interesting part is she lost weight. Like I can tell her weight looks like 140. Like she looks definitely much more thinner. Now, like, her followers are heavier, and of course, you know, weight can lead to certain health issues, right? So it's like you kind of went back on your word in some sense. Regardless, I feel like if you watch documentaries, you'll see that some people in different parts of the country, they live super long, past retirement age. They don't even take retirement because I think that's not really a concept in their countries. I'm not really sure how every country works. But they're past retirement age, and they're still working. For example, like I have an aunt on my mom's side who recently, I think, passed away. I forgot she passed away this year or last year. Again, I'm not close with my parents' side. Like both of them, my mom and my dad, their family side. So, yes, we are related by blood, but at the same time, it's like you're kind of like a stranger to me. But I had an aunt who was 91, I believe, or 92 or 90. I don't remember. 90s. She was in her 90s. That's all I know. And she died for, I believe, a heart attack. But she was working until she was 90. And there's something with, you know, you can plan for your future. And I always find this super ironic when people say you should save up for your pension. And then these are the ones who are eating unhealthy or smoking. It's like, you're giving me advice to save for my pension, but you're not changing your habits. Like, you're not going to see your pension. And sometimes I feel like, you know, I don't mind working past retirement age. I feel like if you don't, you're going to go insane. But again, don't overwork, right? So, what really got me into talking about body is what's happening with the younger generation. And this is for both female and male. There has been this explosive culture of being thick. And being thick is, I don't know, it's hard to describe because there are some people who are overweight, but they're not. You might say, oh, they're thick, but that's not really the thick we're talking about. And then there are some people who are just thick and curvy. But there's a girl who's like 15, and she's been showing how she's gaining weight because she wants to gain weight. She's at a healthy weight right now. Like, she looks maybe like 120, 125, but she was definitely much more thinner before. Maybe she was like 105 or 110. And she wants to gain weight because she wants to be more curvy and more thicker. And I'm like, I don't think people understand, the young ones, right? The ones who are minors. They don't understand that you are going to thicken up as you get older. And then we have boys who are, you know, trying to, again, you know, there's a way to build muscle or to put weight. But, and this also is another 15-year-old boy, like, drinking protein powder and just bulking up with, like, milk and, you know, meat, like, just eating. Again, you're going to gain weight once you reach your 20s. Or even if you don't gain weight, your body will, you know, transform once you reach a certain age group. Like, clearly someone who's 20 and someone who's 25, you might say, oh, you know, you really didn't have an age, but their bone structure does look a little bit different. Same thing, when people reach 30, their bone structure looks different. I'm telling you, like, sometimes a 30-year-old looks definitely more way developed than a 20-year-old. Yeah. And again, it's what your preferences are. So, I think it's weird how the younger generation, they think, you know, they should gain weight. But it's not like, you know, let's eat healthy, but it's like, let's eat more to gain weight so we can look thicker. And if I think of my experience, I think I had like an image, I have an image in my head of a picture, and I believe I was either 13 or 14. And the reason why I remember is because I had these gray pants, and the only time I had gray pants was, I believe, when I was in 9th grade. But like, when I was in high school, the fashion was like colored jeans. So you would see like the pink, the teals, the grays, and there would be like skinny jeans, right? And I've had this issue where my ankles are very tiny. Like tiny. I have tiny ankles, I have tiny wrists. And they look weird. Like, Yes, skinny jeans were in fashion, but they look really horrible on me because my ankles are just so thin. And my feet, I'm a size 8.5 or 9. So it's going to look very off. And what happened was, I do have like gray skinny jeans. And you see my body. So remember, I'm 14, right? Or 13, whatever. I'm like 2 years away from this girl who's trying to gain weight. And my body is very straight. Like straight. Like there is no curves. Just straight. And now, clearly, I'm older. And all of a sudden, these curves just came out of nowhere. Like, out of nowhere. I don't like it personally. I don't like curves on myself. That's just me. Will I exploit it? Of course I will. Because why not exploit your goods, right? But yeah, these curves came out of nowhere. They just came. And that's, again, my body adjusting to my age. So, and there was no way I said I'm going to bulk up and gain weight. That has never been me. So it's going to be interesting to see how, this young generation who thinks like it's okay to overeat just to put on weight, like how are you guys going to look when you're actually in your early or mid 20s? Because it's harder to lose weight when you get older. But that is my 2 cents on weight. I feel if you are happy with your body, then fine, right? But at the same time, you want to make sure you keep your health in check. And even if you're skinny, like for example, I have another aunt. Oh my goodness, the one I just talked that died was not my aunt. She was my great aunt. Okay, yeah. So my great aunt's the one who worked until 90. Anyways, I have an aunt. This is an aunt now. Yeah, I'm not good with titles. I have an aunt who is the skinniest out of all the aunts and uncles in the family from that side, from my mom, and she's very skinny, but she probably has she probably has the worst health because I think, I forgot if she has high blood pressure or diabetes, but it's one of that, but it's more on the dangers side. So yeah, even being skinny can be very misleading. So in the end of the day, you want to just make sure you're watching what you're eating. Like for example, I do love hot Cheetos, but after I've been reading about Red 40, it's kind of like, okay, let's try to avoid it. And I know everyone says with moderation, but honestly, I don't know about you. I buy a bag of chips, and they don't sell small chips in the grocery store. They always sell the large ones. Like, if you want to get small chips, you would have to go to, like, a deli or bodega. But grocery stores always sell the large sizes. And the serving size are, like, 6 and 7, and I kid you not, I will gobble it up. So you might say, oh, in moderation, I haven't bought this bag of chips in so long. But because it's 6 or 7 servings, you're actually eating it as if you were eating it 6 or 7 times. So, something to remember, right? So just maybe don't buy it at all. Yeah. Am I guilty of this? I am. And I don't know. There's something with food that I feel a lot of people struggle with food and weight. You gotta figure something out. But that's my 2 cents on it. Do I think, and I know someone's gonna ask, I already have some ideas about this, so I'll just address it. Do I think, the perfect guy should have the perfect body? No. The truth is, this is something I remember someone said. Physical appearance, what you see or perceive as being attractive, it fades. It fades. So if I fall in love with somebody and I'm like, oh wow, look at their body yada yada. Let's be honest, you're probably not going to have that body in 20 years. Life happens. people change, and that's something, you want to get used to. But for me, the most important thing is staying clean. Also, just to give you a good advice. And if you guys know about the talc and baby powder, let me know if that's something I'm supposed to watch out. But if you have issues with sweating or odor during the summer, and honestly, it doesn't really matter during the summer. Some people have issues with sweating during the winter also. Your magic is going to be baby powder. That is the magic. Also, if you are the type, this is where I'm getting into like health situations. If you are the type to get what's it called? Like body pimples or like ingrowns or boils or whatever, in certain areas that have like that has like creases because you sweat in these areas, like for example like the bikini line, baby powder will save you. No. And if it doesn't, then I guess your issue is something else. It's probably not like sweating or anything. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So yeah, I have nothing better else to say. I'm gonna end it, and I'm gonna go play Persona 3. Bye. Love you. Mwah.